Hey, hey, look at that lighting on you. How's it going?
Good, you?
Going good. I asked people to leave a little comment where they're listening from, just randomly. So we got South Africa, Holland, some like random places.
Wow, that's good. Well, thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah, right? How are you doing today?
I'm very good, very
Yeah.
good. Are you?
Yeah, I'm in the gym today, as you can see.
Oh, cool. I've got a bit of a different background today as well. Thought I'd mix it up a little bit, be crazy.
Keep them on their toes.
Definitely. Kez, we've got some good questions.
Yeah. All fitness related today, is it? All exercise stuff?
All exercise stuff. I'm just gonna move my laptop over here
Yeah.
because I've got a couple on there as well.
Love it.
So yeah, this is all workout related. I think might be my favourite one so far.
I just gotta mention, right? I've got Invisalign since our last one, so I now talk a bit weird.
To be honest, I think I'll probably talk a bit weird anyway, and I haven't got a visitor.
Oh yeah, right. You've no excuse.
Right, okay. Should we start with question number one?
Yeah, let's dive into it.
Okay. This one is probably more relevant for people in the UK at the minute, but it could be applied anywhere. So, I've just got a space for the Great North Run, which for anyone that doesn't know, it's a huge half marathon up where I live. Really want to do well, but I don't know where to start with training. Any advice? So places for this run, for this half marathon, is super hard to get.
Wow.
This person is starting from scratch. Advice on getting fit for a half marathon?
Damn, man. Do you know when the marathon is?
Yeah, it's in September
Okay. So that's good. A good start
time.
is that. Honestly, I feel like you'll be better with the running stuff since Heidi's a little running, and you were running as well back in the day. But recently, I learned like people are like, right, I'm gonna run a half marathon. What's that? Like 13 miles, 14
Yeah.
miles. Like, and they're like, right, let's go out and run 5 miles. It's like, nah, like if you've not done anything, start at one. Don't sprint it. Otherwise you'll get those injuries, or you probably get disheartened very quick as well. You gotta slowly build up, like literally your miles with that. So I wouldn't be as experienced as you, I'd say, with running stuff, but like definitely like steady increases. Do like a mile for a week or two, 2 miles, 3 miles, like then you have like your longer days, your shorter days again. But don't just try and run 5 miles off the couch, like you'll die.
Oh, I would totally agree with that. And
Yeah.
well, people often make the mistake of just focusing on the miles. So every time they run,
Yeah.
they'll try and do a long run, and then they'll try and build on that longer run. So the first thing they'll do is do what you said, like just go off too much too soon. But also,
Yeah.
every run is about clocking up miles, and that's counterproductive because it increases your risk of like repetitive type injuries.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, it's boring as hell. So, like,
I don't want to say it, but yeah.
it's a long journey. Like between now and September is the perfect amount of time to train for something like this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also quite a long commitment. You have to fall in love with it. You don't want to load. So if I was splitting it up on an average week,
Yeah.
I one a hill session or interval session. So it's literally as simple as there's a hill, run up it as fast as you can, and then walk back down. Like
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
do that 10 times and build on that, or then make the hill steeper, and then so that's an option for day one. Option 2 would be intervals. So if you're lucky enough to have like a run track somewhere, like we have one local also, even if you just know like a loop of the block from your house, or
yeah,
run for a minute, walk for a minute, run for 30 seconds, walk for 30 seconds. So that would be on one day of the week. Then I would say on have a rest day, and then another day and do a tempo run, so something that's shorter,
yeah.
but it's quicker. I'm living your Heidi's training regime here, by the way.
Hey man, she's like world champ though, so you know.
Yeah, so Coach Mom here. So yeah, shorter route, faster speed, and then a long run towards the end of the week, just to see how far you can go at a steady pace. Don't go out there, I'm going to do 4 miles, I'm going to 5 miles, just see how far you can go and build on that way. But also, like, often neglected is like good strength and conditioning for running, like a good strength and conditioning session.
Yeah. I think something I noticed, like I used to run a lot when I was competing boxing, but I never really enjoyed it. I'd enjoy 1 out of 10 runs, like something. But I would notice like little things that would help was like if I braced my abs and like keep my shoulders back, because if I don't like it, I'm kind of like this and just engage the core and like just try keep a good posture, and the run didn't feel as bad or hurt as much. So little things like that. Even I would try not run and do like, well, if I'm doing a circuit in the gym, my heart rate is doing what a run would do. It's like, yeah, but you need at the same time, you need your joints and your feet and your shins to get used to that as well. So it's like you said, don't purely run for the next 6 months, but you also have to get used to running. But definitely supplement it with like good strength and conditioning for the joints, for the muscles all around the legs, and like your core and your posture. I always notice like my back hurts before my legs hurt.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's things to do for that, like, but I just avoid running instead.
And like you buy what you like, run tall, run like you're a good runner. Don't shuffle along like as if I'm really bad at this.
I shuffle along like this is like torture, and it's like then it is torture because I'm doing that to myself. Like.
And also, if you're somebody that's already training but not running, so say if you're in the gym, don't be hard to start running. You go, oh my god, I'm so unfit. Like you're not. It's just a different activity.
Yeah.
And often talk about at the beginning of the run feeling really uncomfortable, but that's just because you're switching from one energy system to the other. So you just got to ride that out. A good warm-up definitely helps. Like, don't just walk out your front door and run. That's crazy talk. Build yourself up, and that transition of energy systems will be much smoother.
That you mentioned in there about a good warm-up, a good cool-down as well. Like, most of the time, I can put myself through a lot, but if I ever run and don't stretch out like my hip flexors and my legs, I feel it a lot more the next day. Like, so I think, definitely a little bit more recovery-based focus with running, especially doing a marathon. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, right, okay, I think that answers question 1. Question 2. God, because I feel like we could do like an entire series on this, by the way, so I think we're going to have to be quite concise, but let's give it a go. Right. I hear people talk about a split thing, and what is it, and should I be doing it if I want to improve strength, muscle tone, and lose weight?
Wait, can you say that start bit again? My internet just chopped it a bit.
I hear people talk about a split routine.
Right, yeah.
What is it, and should I do it if those are the things I do?
Definitely that's like, what's the perfect diet? It's like, well, let's dive. I'm assuming by split they mean kind of like resistance training, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking it's got to be that, because there's mention of strength and muscle in it. It's got to be that.
It kind of comes down to like, before you worry about that, it's like, right, how many days a week and how many hours per day do you have to commit? If you have 7 days a week to commit, yeah, we're gonna split you nicely. If you're a super busy woman, man, whatever, and you only have like 2 hours a week, you want to be more effective than like worrying about the fancy splits that other people are doing. So yeah, it kind of comes down to how much time are you prioritizing to get to the gym, or how much time can you get to the gym, and then a split is just a good way to like. I really like strength training. Right now, I can get 4 days in a week right now, most of the time. So I do 2 upper body days, 2 lower body days. So that means I can really overload like the upper body, the lower, and do that twice per week. And yeah, the more you do it, the more results you'll see, sort of thing. Like if I'm training legs 1 day per week, or if I'm training legs 2 times per week, I'm gonna feel like I'm getting towards the goals twice a week quicker than I would once a week. So the split, like, just comes down to how much time you have, really. Then you can also get like what way are you splitting, like if you've only got 3 days in your training week, maybe like try to do whole body all of those days, or 2 whole body days, and 1 day that you're targeting more kind of hit style, like heart rate shit, like Tabatas and like med ball stuff. Yeah, I don't know how to answer this one short.
Yeah, it's a hard one. I think like taking it right back at the beginning, a split routine for anyone that doesn't know is like splitting your workouts into body parts, basically.
Yeah.
It's different ways you can do it. So you're dead right. The more days you've got to do strength training, then the more you can split it down.
Yeah.
Like, but then there's easier ways to split it down. Like sometimes if I train somebody who hasn't got a lot of time, so maybe they've only got the 2 days to strength train, I might, like some people might split that upper body, lower body, and split that in like an X shape.
Yeah.
Upper body push and lower body pull 1 day, and then the reverse on the opposite day. So on day 1, things like chest press, push up, shoulder press, etc. And then pairing that with like stiff leg deadlift, glute bridges, stuff like that. And then the opposite on the other day. You the best with the more days you've got, the more you can split it down. So you might have upper body push 1 day, upper body pull another day, and like so on. You could even split it down as far as like.
I competed in a body physique show one time, and I had like a split, and like I'd have an accessory day, which was literally like you just did, like the accessory muscles, really. But I think as well, your goals, if body composition is a big goal, like you're gonna need 3 days, really minimum, before you start worrying about the splits on it. If you're just trying to get generally fit and healthy, I think a day where like I wouldn't worry about the splits, but just make sure it's like right. Maybe you do your X, or you do upper body, lower body push movements with your cardio and core Tuesday, and then upper body pull and leg pull with your conditioning and core on the other day. But yeah, like you said, the main idea of the split is just split your body parts over the week, so you're not trying to do everything in 1 day, 5 days a week, and not really doing anything, but like a focused hour on upper body, and you don't have to worry about your legs because they'll have their focused day the next day, which is good because your arms are too smashed to do anything anyway with your upper body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think ultimately, what's your goals? How much time do you have to commit? And then work backwards from there. Like find a good split that works for you. Like, yeah, I think that's probably the best answer.
I don't think we're going to answer it any differently without asking people to take the day off work tomorrow and listen to us talk about it.
Yeah. Just come to the gym for the day and we'll just yap in your ears all day.
Just be like all day talking about split routines.
Didn't you say that last time? You were like, bring your boxing trainer to work day or something like
that. Yeah. Okay, this one's nice and straightforward. This is just like, what do you like? So what are your favourite / the best lower body exercises?
Ooh, for some reason, I love deadlifts.
Yeah.
And I hate squats. Like, hate squats. I would rather do like a solid day of deadlifts than 1 minute of squats. It's just, I don't know. I can't explain it. I just love deadlifts and hate squats. Yeah, what about you?
I'm the exact opposite.
No way. Yeah, what's I don't know.
I couldn't even tell you why. I couldn't tell you why I like deadlifts. I don't know. They just don't float me boat. I prefer single-sided exercises.
So mental. Yeah. I like it for my clients' progression. I don't like it for my own workout. Like, I do it, but I do not enjoy it. Let's say, like lunges or pistols or like step ups. It's like you gotta like it's mental for me. It's like they're ruling, you know. So I do them, but I do not enjoy them. I do get excited to do a deadlift though.
I think this might be the first time we've had a difference of opinion on something. Everything we totally agree on. But I love single-sided stuff and anything elevated split squat, like back foot elevated. I know what sort of weirdo am I?
I love the benefits. I love how my ass feels the next day, but I do not enjoy doing them one bit. Like
the walking is another one.
Yeah,
I love that.
I do love a sled push for legs.
Yeah,
and sled pull. Like pull that all day.
Definitely agree on that one. Do you like a side lunge?
I'd rather a side lunge than a regular lunge.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't like, I wouldn't be like, ooh, side lunge time.
I like, if I use, the workout I did today, I was doing like bands, but changing the exercise every 30 seconds, just like kettlebell stuff. And I tried side lunge, I bloody love them. I also like anything that is frontal or transverse plane. So for non-fitnessy people listening to this, that means any side-to-side movement or with rotation. Because I think in our life we just spend a lot of time in general moving forwards and backwards. So it's good to get a new movement pattern going. So like side lunges and curtsy squats for that reason.
Yeah. I agree with you with the like. I would train different planes of motion, but like more netball or like conditioning based than strength based. Strength based, I don't know. I think from like the bodybuilding days, I'm very like compounds, like big compounds, and then I save the sled, the tire, the netballs, boxing for like that all that rotational work. Although a landmine, I will use a landmine for some rotation, but because it's fun rather than, you know what I mean?
And with the landmine, so again, for anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about here, imagine this is your barbell. Your barbell is secured. But it's secured. And then this can move up and down and side to side and all over the place. I like the landmine because even if it's really heavy or the exercise is really hard, it's a bit like boxing in that your mind is taken off that because you concentrate much on this piece of equipment that is steady and you've got to really think about it.
And then, just to totally segue at that, those that don't use landmines and might be in like a regular gym that's like a lot of cable machines, that cable machine is, right, the quick benefit of that is like, number one, it's safe because the weight is controlled. So you can probably go heavier, which is great. But most people don't use it to safely go heavier. They just use it because it's a ready-made kind of movement. But if you're using stuff like those landmines, you have to use your core a lot more to control that weight from injuring you, rather than just sitting in the machine and being like this sort of thing. So I kind of like anything that's kind of sit in that machine and do the work. like you use your body to control the movements, I think, on that.
Good landmine pat there.
Because I see people go into those types of gyms like LA Fitness, and it's just like a row of machines, and they're just like sitting there, not really engaging much, pushing. It's like, man, you could be like, grab some free weights, like next level. So we gotta do a session on that one day.
I think both need to take a full day off work and do like live talking about everything, like a full day. Okay, next one. I've just got into weights at the gym, but don't know what weight I should be lifting. And that's a hard one. My general answer to that is choose a weight that feels challenging. Like if you had a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really hard, the hardest it could be, and 1 being super easy. Choose a weight that feels like 10 by the last 3 sets.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I usually say something similar to people. I'm like, pick a weight that when you're doing 12 reps, when you're at rep number 9 and 10, you're like, thank fuck there's only 2 more reps. Rather than getting to rep 12 and being like, oh, I could do another 20 of these. Like it's hard to, because your friend does 20 kg doesn't mean you should be doing 20 kg, you know? It's like, if you can go for another 50 reps, you need way more. And if you're not like excited that you're at rep 10 and you only have to do 2 more, so go through 2 more, then you know you're I think as well, though, that comes down to, and there's so much information on the internet, but if anyone wants to leave a comment here, they can. Like, what are you training for? Because if you're trying, like, you've got strength, power, endurance, hypertrophy, and again, that's very like kind of school sciencey, but rep ranges do vary. So if you feel like you're not getting results, you might just be in the wrong rep range. There's only really those 4 categories. So either get into the Google and deep dive where your rep range is at for your goals, or just shoot me or Katie a message and be like, I want to get stronger, or I want to like hypertrophy, I want power, I want strength. We can kind of tell you where your rep range should be. Because there is differences between them. But rule of thumb is like 12 reps. Struggle bust to the last few, like 3 sets. Yeah.
I think it's really good that you brought up like those 4 phases, because that's something that unless you do the job that we do, like for most people, something that's talked about, and a lot of people always spend the same, like they'll spend forever doing the same rep rate, same number of steps.
Yeah.
Which, like if that's like, why would you know any different? But
that's it. Yeah.
Know that there's I always draw it out like steps. So like endurance, up to hypertrophy, then you go to strength, then you go to power, and then you often off, have maybe an active week, and then start again with the steps.
Yeah.
But I'm not training for power, I'm not training for strength, but it doesn't mean that there's like if you're generally training and want to be better, healthier, stronger, change your body composition, there's still no reason why you can't go into strength and power and then just strength again.
If you do a power phase, but you're just like a regular person that's like spending 1 hour on power, like you're not going to become a massive power lifter. Like, don't worry. You're just like you said, you're just making yourself the best athlete you can be. You're not like spending 10, 20 hours a week doing power. So don't worry about the other end of the scale of that. And then that as well, what you mentioned in your steps, it's like, right, if you're doing 10 kg shoulder presses this week, in 10 weeks time, you better not be doing 10 kg shoulder presses. Like try get like, if you're doing, let's say you're doing 10 kg shoulder presses and reps 10 to 12 are struggle, in the next 2-3 weeks, they shouldn't be as bad as struggle, or else push it to 12 kg, try get them up a bit more. So you want to be like progressively overloading. You're not going to jump though every week or even every month. but all of a sudden your 10 kg should get easier, and then you replace them, bring in the 12 kg, they're hard, get a little bit easier, chuck them out, bring in the 15s, they're hard, they'll be hard for a few weeks, but like general progression. Otherwise you will plateau, not feel like you're getting results, not feel any stronger, get bored. So.
Yeah, for sure. Kez, have you seen Sarah's comment? Sarah's why I lie when Kez asks, does it feel okay?
Now I know that I'm just gonna throw 20s out now.
People forget that, like, as trainers, we know. We know. Even if you don't tell us, we know.
If you're trying to bullshit us, here's the thing: if you can talk to us and you're chilling, you're not going hard enough.
Facial expressions are everything. Like, yeah, 12, yeah, no problem. Going out after this.
Yeah, we have you sussed out, Jeffrey. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
Yeah, we know all the secrets, trainers. We know everything.
Like, we know.
Yeah,
I would love to be. I would love to be able to do push-ups for my toes and ice.
Do we know where that person's currently at?
No. Let's assume that at the minute they can do like an assisted pull-up, say on the assisted pull-up machine, and their knees.
Well, here's the first thing you need to know. I'm assuming they're a woman.
Can't remember, but I'm gonna say I think so.
Right, here's the thing. This is like not fair in life, but it's a fact. If you get a man and a woman that are equally unfit and throw them in the gym, the man will do a push-up off his toes really badly at least once and probably do one really bad pull-up. A woman has to train for a long time to get to that level of bad push, bad pull. We're just not built the same. So the pull-up thing takes a while. The push-up thing comes a little bit quicker, I think. But it's kind of like anything, and like what we said at the start of this, if I'm going to run a marathon, I'm going to run 13 miles tomorrow, I'm going to just put my shoes on and that's it. Like, do all the assisted stuff you can do. Maybe then do some like, let's say for pull-up, right? Use a band for assistance. Make it super easy so you can get the correct range and the correct muscle engagement. And then do a lot of like cable, like lat pull down, like seated rows. So you're strengthening the muscle groups in general, but you do want to train that movement as well. Because the pull-up is your whole body weight. Like a lat pull, you're never pulling down your whole body weight. So kind of like a bit of both. Same with push-up. Do it like elevated off your toes. So like you could put a barbell in a squat rack and just like gradually bring it down a little bit over time. You're on your toes, you're working the right muscle groups. But then at the same time, I'm going to do some dumbbell bench press, any type of push movement to get those muscles stronger in general. So then they'll transfer over into the push-up of the toes and the pull-up. Yeah, it's kind of like that marathon approach. Like, there's more to it than just looking at it and being like, one day I'll just magically be able to do it, like, you know?
Yeah, I think as well. I often say clients, like, especially with the push-up, that they've nailed the nail and push-up. Like, everything is perfect, like alignment, like depth, everything. But just getting to that but just literally going from that to being on your toes is too much in between. So your advice there about an incline, or even if you stay on the floor, but go onto your toes to go down, then drop to the knees to come back up.
Yeah, they're great. Those, I call them negative. I think they're they are horrible but great. But it's kind of like you said, right? If you're nailing a push-up off your knees, now you've got two legs, like from your knee to your foot. That's all that's missing. But two of them, let's just say you weigh 100 pounds. That's at least, I would say, 25, 30 pounds of your body weight that you're not pushing. So you've pretty much gone from, here's a 20-pound push, let me just make it now 45, like, jumped up in range. You haven't just added 5 or 10 kg, you've added like a big chunk of your body.
Yeah.
So I think people forget, like, on your knees is, let's say, 75% of your body weight. And then all of a sudden you're jumping to your toes and you can't do it. Well, yeah, you've just added on a massive dumbbell, not a tiny one. So the eccentric ones are great. Or they're standing and then dropping down, like, yeah, definitely.
Up as well, I like bar in the squat back, or like a body up. That one works. But it can be done. I think the key is just consistent.
Yeah.
We love that word, don't we?
What's the one word that pops up every time? Yeah, like consistency.
Yeah, but I think doing those things and not feeling like it should be, because everyone assumes that it's a natural progression to go straight from a really good kneeling press up to the full press up. There's actually like, there's a phase in between that, isn't there?
Oh, big time. And also, I think people forget, they walk in the gym, right, and they're like, right, let me warm up, air squat, push up. It's like, if you were laying on a bench pushing dumbbells, you're pushing, let's say you have 10 in each hand, 20 pounds. When you do a push up on the floor, you're pushing like your body. So it's not body weight is like non-existent weight. It's the weight of your body, the whole body. So like it's kind of odd, you know what I mean? People think like, oh, I'm not holding dumbbells, so therefore it's super light. No, it's your whole body weight. Same with that pull. So yeah.
I think actually doing those things will help people a lot, for definitely. And when I've only half written down, I've got the gist of it. So this one is was along the lines of, I drop off exercise a lot, well, because I haven't found anything that I like doing yet. And what would you advise I try?
I mean, you've answered that one before, right?
Similar. I just think try everything.
Yeah.
Try everything. Try the things that you would least expect to try. You're somebody that's always done the gym, try classes. A lot of people think that you've got to have great coordination and you've got to be fit before you even go to a class. But the point is, the instructor will teach you from scratch. A good instructor will teach you from scratch. That's really fair point as well. Go for an instructor. If you're going to try a class, it'll be one of your first experiences. Go with an instructor that recommends.
Yeah.
Don't give other, like, discount people. Don't give like new instructors a chance. That's not what I mean. If your first fitness experience, because if it's not, especially for this person, sort of journey of sort of exercise that they enjoy, if they're studio or in a group fitness setting is grim and lifeless and well, they never go back. And sometimes we get coaches that watch our well, and remind ourselves and reminding our fellow professionals that it's all into like your class participants, what you teach, you know this stuff that's in your. But like for new participants, you've got to keep going back to what did it feel like to walk in that gym for the first time, that studio for the first time, like go over to people, introduce yourself personally, find out their name, like all of that stuff makes such a big difference. And if you've got an instructor who's good like that, they will give somebody a fantastic experience, and that person could well stay with them for many, many years. I feel like I've got me soapbox a little bit there.
Get off that soapbox. No, that was good, but it's like, it's dead right. It's like, unfortunately, there is people in the world that just don't enjoy exercise. But like, it's like saying you don't enjoy going to work. You just got to do it sometimes. So at the very least, it's like, right, you don't have to love, like you love squats, or you don't have to love squats. But if you can find a group of people or a place that you don't even realize what you're doing, but you know, you're like you said, you feel comfortable, you're in a place, you've got that social aspect, and it makes the session easier. You know, you're in that place sort of thing. That's probably the best thing to do is find that instructor, because not everyone will find their thing they like to do, or some just don't like to train. But it's kind of like that old quote, like, no one will remember what you told them, but they'll remember how you felt, how you made them feel. If you can make someone feel good, then the process, they'll grin and bear that is how they feel, and that instructor made them feel that way, sort of thing. But yeah, group classes are great for, like, if you don't like training, you don't know what to do, then a group class is like, just show up, do what the instructor's saying, and like you've got people there that are kind of in it with you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said as well, like, just try different things. Like, you might not know something exists until you try it. Yeah.
Set yourself a challenge, like say for the next 30 try something new. I'm going to try something I've never done before. I'm going to try everything from training to yoga, Pilates to boxing, Zumba, like whatever. I'm just going to try it, and I'm going to go with an open mind, and maybe keep like a little diary and log how you felt before. Like 10, and then at the end of the month, just look and go, all right, yeah, boxing or Pilates was my thing.
Yeah. Even that, like, yeah, you might surprise yourself, or you just don't know where, like, someone might be in that class. It's like, I don't know, you strike a friendship out of nowhere, and they're like, oh, you should come here, try this with me. Or like, oh, I know this great instructor that does this or that. It's like, even if you don't enjoy what you went to, like, there's always those sort of networking opportunities to get closer to what you do like. But like you said, it's like, step outside that comfort zone, and you just kind of grow anyway, you know.
There's something out there for everybody. It's like dating. You've just got to find the right person.
Yeah. It says here, Sarah tried kickboxing in a jiu-jitsu place on Saturday. If that's not out of my comfort zone, I don't know what is.
Oh, well done, Sarah.
Kicking the shit out of something.
Right, this next question is, best way to lose weight? Counting calories and tracking food, or cutting portion sizes? I'm so confused.
That's a whole other podcast, sorry.
Yeah.
We could literally do a podcast on that.
You both? Everything?
I don't know how to start this one. So, like, we've had this, I think, in the first one we did, right? And it's like, it's confusing, right? Because there is a lot of information out there on the internet, and everyone has an opinion as well. But at the same time, I know me and you went to school for this stuff. Like, I didn't learn this in a week, so it is going to be confusing. It's like learning a new language. You got to just learn it. Start simple. Start simple. Pull it, scale it right back. Don't worry about your macros, logging shit, doing all this, all that. Pull it right back. You said it before. It's like, step one. What are you currently doing in your diet? Let's see what the problems are, if there is any. And then it's like step two, like, right, do we need to just focus on eating more greens and getting better protein? Right, we've got that as a habit. Right, are we snacking at night time? Let's try pull that out. Like, right, step four, right, let's talk about your calories in versus calories out, because at the end of the day, eat all the healthy food you want. If you're eating too much of it, it's too much energy. Then, right, how do I know that? Let's start tracking. Then, right, let's start tracking macros. Yeah, there is a lot of that. And either be prepared to get on Google and like learn it, kind of like how I'm trying to learn about investing in stocks right now. I haven't a clue, so I have to like really just listen to podcasts, try to learn it, or else pay a professional to sit down and tell me all about it and teach me. So if you're really confused with it, but you do want to learn, like nosedive on Google or pay a trainer like to really go through it. But it's not like, oh yeah, here you go, here's the info. It's a process, a big process.
It is. It's a long process. People often feel that they should change everything about how they eat, move, and life, like in a week, in the first few days of even, and it's a much longer game than that. The best place to start really is having awareness, like what you said, like what's going on, and it's surprising. I did a little daily. It's surprising how many things just make their way in like this. Think about like, get a coffee and a little biscuit. The little biscuit's in, but you forget about it. But there was still.
Do you do this thing where you eat a biscuit while you grab a biscuit? I do that. Let me just grab a biscuit. But I'll grab a biscuit while I grab the biscuit. I'll just take one to go. I've like 3 biscuits of them.
Mm-hmm. It's so true. It's just the little bits of when you're cooking on an ice, you make it, and then I mean, especially I think if you kids like ask that finish that off your plate. What you didn't finish that, I'll have that. Like it's so easy. Because those things aren't like your main meals or your structured snack. Oh yeah, just forget about it. It didn't happen.
Easily a couple of 100 calories. Easily.
Oh, easily. And it actually those forgettable foods, had calories in those. If you just didn't have them, that would probably create the deficit that you need.
Yeah.
On a basis, like across the week. So I would say first thing to do is just write it down.
Yeah.
Like a notebook on the notes on your phone. I mean, if you want to use a tracking app, like that's great, but that might later on. But first is finishing their leftovers, bloody kids.
You know, I was thinking of her, I was thinking of my sister, and I'm like thinking of you, and it's like, man, like, you know the food you don't typically eat for yourself, like let's say like little chicken nuggets, but you're throwing out a plate and you're like, oh, it's like a little tiny bite, you're like, you eat it.
Yeah.
Like it must be hard to just be like, you like close your eyes, like no.
Even if it's good stuff, it's still
it's still too like your line is then pushed up.
Yeah. So yeah, just be mindful or write it down, because when it's in black and white, see it on the page or you see it on your phone, you're like, oh, actually, it's doing quite a lot.
Oh, like ketchup or mustard, like it all adds up. I'm not saying don't eat it, but don't not count it. Like if you're gonna have your ketchup on your burger, like add it in, and maybe like you said, don't have those extra nibbles. Like you've got to get the awareness first, and then you can build your kind of diet around it.
Diet, like what you drink.
Yeah.
So like wine slips down so easily.
Yeah.
But if you added the calories of a glass of wine every night up approximately a lot of calories.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't focus on the food, like fizzy pop, all of that sort of stuff, all adds up as well.
It's like the liquid calories sneak in, like, and like there's good ways to do it, but like people don't think like salad dressing's a liquid, right? They don't realize there can be ones out there that are like more calories than like the salad, like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. And then typically the wine calories that you're not counting anyway typically lead to like, oh, I'll just have a few Maltesers, because it's like, who wants to have wine without Maltesers? Like, so it's, yeah, slippery slope. But the awareness of what you're eating, and then the awareness of like the habits. So like kind of Sarah said, like when she's cleaning up after the kids, there's a habit of just like, well, I'll just clear the plate. Or like I know for me, if I drink, I can be eating clean, but if I drink, I'm like, oh, I want something sweet now. So it's like, you know, the habits around, right, if I don't drink, I won't eat extra as well, rather than like, I can't drink and then want to have a healthy meal. Like, it just doesn't work in my head. So I know a trigger isn't right. If I'm drinking, I'm gonna eat shit. So like awareness, you know, of your own habits as well around how you eat and when you eat.
Yeah. I love that topic. Like, I just,
yeah,
the focusing on the thought process of what you eat is so important. But that was a big question.
Yeah.
And it's a long process, but you start at the beginning. Log it.
If you're confused by it, that's a good thing, because it is confusing, put it that way. So like, don't feel like shit, I'm the only person in the world that doesn't get this. But just start simple. And like you said, awareness, number one. Well, as soon as you have to write everything down, you're like, oh, I see the problem now.
And even worse, if you have to write it down and show it to somebody else.
Yeah, show that to your trainer.
Yeah, be accountable to somebody. I think the bottom line here is everybody needs a trainer.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Well. Yeah. No, but it is hard and it is confusing and it takes time. So just consistency and patience, but you'll get your head around it.
And that was the last question.
We always end on a good one. I like that
one. So I will, it's my turn this time to pick a winner and sort out a prize at a good food. And so we'll post that on our stories, who the winner is, and I'll be in touch to get your Amazon details.
What book is it this time?
I can't actually remember what I said, because I've done a bit, haven't I? And my other one is Michael Hecklemore's other book.
Yeah.
I love that, but that one, Michael Hecklemore's second book.
Right. So then I'll do the next book next month.
Okay.
I'll make it a diet book as well, since it's a topic that comes up a lot.
Yeah. One of the best books I ever read. This was my early days as a trainer. You don't have to be a trainer to read it. Like, it's not too jargon heavy. Was Eat, Move and Be Healthy by Paul Chek.
All right, I'll check that one out. Yeah.
If anybody's like looking for like a book pretty broad in terms of things that it's covered, that it covers, like that is a good book. Like, it's not too heavy in terms of what the content.
Nice.
You know, one day we might be writing a Goalgetters book.
Yeah, one day.
Send out copies of that.
Yeah. Class. Well, yeah, this is a good one today. I hope everyone's got some benefit and some nuggets of information here. And we'll do same again next month.
Yeah.
I would say if anyone has questions on anything we spoke about, diet or training, to just like send me or you a message, because you know, it is confusing sometimes. So.
And it's a big old topic. Well,
we're here to help. Yeah.
If
it was easy, we wouldn't have jobs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. See you later.
See you later.
Bye.